So long time no speak. I thought it was time to do an update for those that are interested. I am still taking the 300 milligrams of Pregabalin. I didn't want to go any higher because, well, for two reasons. Number one, I'm not sure going higher would make any difference. I worry that it would numb me even more. You know, the side effects, obviously, as I've said before, everything is dulled. You don't get really, really excited, and you don't get to the real depths of depression. You still get a degree of happiness, and you still get a degree of being down and sad, but I don't cry. I don't get really, really elated. It just kind of levels you out. I still suffer with dry mouth. I still have constipation, and I still have a total loss of libido. So there is sacrifices, you know, to taking it. With the anxiety, I still have it. I'm sure it probably lessens it. I think I'd be a lot worse without it. So for that reason, I'm continuing with it. You know, I have considered the side effects of, you know, not enjoying life perhaps as much as I could, but I worry about how difficult it would be to come off it. Having not until after I'd been on it for a while did I stop to think, oh, I wonder how difficult it is to come off of, and I've read some horror stories, so when that day comes, obviously I'll tell you about it. Yeah, sorry, I've lost my trail of thought because I just got a text message, but yeah, I do think it's beneficial. I do think it's helpful, but there is a price to pay for taking it. I still have my lorazepam for when I'm doing difficult things, but I do have another update that the NHS finally came through for me and have provided me with, they call it not rehabilitation, re-enablement. I'm doing a re-enablement program, which is basically therapy where the therapist will come to my house and travel with me, actually do the activity with me. It's only for a limited period. Apparently, you know, they have lots of people waiting for this service, which is why it's taken just over a year for it to come through for me. I mean, no one was even forthcoming that this even existed, which kind of annoys me. Yeah, but finally it's come through and I've started. I've done a couple of weeks. I get 2 sessions a week, but apparently it's normally only for a 6 to 8 week period, which I feel is very, very short, considering how long I've had the problem, how deep rooted my thought patterns are. I feel I'm going to need more, but they said that we'll talk about it at the end of the 6 or 8 weeks, whoever decides that, I don't know. Sorry about the wobbly filming, but I'm just holding it in my hand. Yeah, so we have started and we are making progress. It's very difficult. I've done so much avoiding, and obviously the whole point of doing it is to not take any lorazepam when I do the sessions, and actually going out, having to walk out of my comfort zone is very difficult for me, and I have avoided it because I've got a car, and when I go out in my car becomes my safety zone, so I never want to be far from the car. So I've been walking with the dogs and the therapist out of my comfort zone, away from the house, and like I say, it's been a success. I feel I'm doing well, but it is really hard to finally have to face up all over again even though I know and you know that that's what you have to do. You have to experience it, stick it out, see it through, and realise that you come out the other side, and all those catastrophic thoughts that you have that you think are going to happen aren't going to happen. For example, today was probably my toughest session yet, where I reached the destination, and you would imagine that once you've reached the destination, panic over because you've got to the furthest point. But for some reason, it was when I turned around to then come home and I realised how far I had to walk and how far I was from home that the panic started to rise up. Now, in recent months, and even recent years, I suppose, if I'm honest with myself, if I'm going to do something I know is difficult, I'll take a lorazepam so I don't have to face the panic. And when I do panic at home, I'm at home, I can deal with it. I haven't got people around me, I'm not in public, I've got bathroom or water or whatever it is that I feel I need. If I want to pace up and down or strip off because I'm sweating or hyperventilating or going to throw up, whatever, I'm at home. But if you're out, that's a whole new thing for me. And I did start to feel the panic rising. I felt sick. My heart started racing. All the thoughts of what terrible things could happen and she was using distraction techniques. So trying to talk to me, what can you hear around you? Name 5 things that you can hear. Which just, you're in two minds. You've got the racing thoughts and then you're trying to answer the question, and it kind of pulls you away from the negativity to make you actually come back into reality. Because I find I get stuck in my head and my thoughts and they race. I'm not actually in the real world, in my mind. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but yeah, and it worked. And I was talking to myself as well, not out loud, but in my mind, challenging those negative thoughts and saying, well, you're fine. You will get through this. You can do this. And I did it. Long story short, I did it. I got through it. And by the time I got to halfway home, I felt completely fine and normal again. I was still anxious. My shoulders were still, even when I got home, my shoulders were so tense where I'd been so anxious, and still my mouth is so dry. I haven't been back long and my mouth is so dry because that's one of the things that happens when I get really nervous. But it was a success, and that's what I've got to focus on, because I do tend to think to myself, I beat myself up, oh, you panicked, you're a wuss, you're pathetic. I'm not going to do that. I'm telling myself I'm not going to do that because it was a success and I did it. And it's the furthest I've walked away from home in I don't know how long. So for anyone else struggling, if you want to message me, if you want to comment, whatever, ask me any questions, I'm happy to help if I can. And just checking in with you because it's been a while, and wanted to keep you updated. So cheers, hope you're good.